Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, in this video, I'm going to be doing a reading about the story that's going on Netflix, the movie called The Crash, which is about a young woman named MacKenzie Sharilla, who was in a car accident or intentionally smashed her car into a wall, killing her boyfriend, Dominic Russo, and his friend, Davion Flanagan. So she came out alive from the crash. She was not under the influence, according to evidence. She only had a little THC in her system, but some suspect that she may have had mushrooms as well, which I've heard is difficult to detect in tests. But whatever the case may be, her boyfriend and his friend died, and she is alive. And in prison, she was convicted of the murders and is serving 15 years. She maintains that she's innocent and it was an accident, and she doesn't remember anything, and she thinks she blacked out from POTS, but there are no medical records indicating that she suffered from POTS. So I want to do a reading on this and see what we can get from the cards regarding what happened here, what she was thinking, what she was really trying to do. It was about 5:30 in the morning after partying all night. They had slept a little while at a friend's house, and then they were getting up first thing and driving home. And she was a bit of a wild child, 17, dating a 20-year-old, moved out of her house to live with him as a teenager in high school, wasn't doing well. And her parents were apparently too indulgent with her in many people's opinions, even though her father was a school teacher. But anyways, let's take a look at this. What was going on here at the time of this accident? What was Mackenzie, we're going to be looking at it, MacKenzie Sharilla's mindset, since she was the one driving. What was her state of mind at the time? What was she thinking about the situation? Was this an accident or not? What may have led to this? What triggered her to decide to do this? Some say it was her boyfriend wanted to break up with her and she didn't want to lose him. So some suspect she tried to murder-suicide. Also, she has a strong drive to be famous, showing off all the TikToks. She's very skinny and wanted to be a model. So she had lots of modeling and posing with different outfits, and she's into fashion apparently. So she wanted to become famous somehow. I don't know if that's her intention. We'll see. That was her intention here. Maybe trying to use this to get fame. She is using it now to get fame, and she has this Netflix movie and other movies about it coming out, giving her a level of infamy. So let's see here. What was going on here that night? This happened in July 31st, 2002, the crash. And I believe she was convicted in 2023. Was she expecting to die, or was she just trying to have an accident so that they could trauma bond over it? Or was she trying to kill herself? What was she really expecting from this? And what was her relationship with Dom? How was he affecting her at this moment that she did this? How did she see him? And what's going to happen in the long term? So let's find out. Sharilla MacKenzie, the car crash. Let's see what the cards show. General attitude at the time of the crash, 2 of Wands reversed. So this is, you can see he's on a road here, sort of like the road she drove down and was driving down here. And this is a card about thinking two people, two different divergent plans or paths in life. So there was something that she was concerned about, the separation, perhaps, of her and Don, or this could indicate that she was not thinking straight, because Two of Wands is about thinking and plans and going forward, and this is sort of just destroying your future plans and taking it away, not just for you but someone else, because we had two. And the environment of Five of Cups was the environment of it. So I'm getting that she did not have any, she was trying to destroy the plans, a possible separation perhaps, and she was very depressed with the Five of Cups. It can also indicate overindulging in alcohol, but she wasn't drunk at the time, according to her blood tests. But she was severely depressed. You could say mental health issues for sure. So this is a very not thinking straight. Again, 5:30 in the morning, after partying all night and being very depressed and upset at the moment that this happened. Leading up to this, the basis of this, Moon reversed. Oh my. We got the lunacy card here for sure. Also showing, I could see this as an excess of, or just very emotional. Again, there could be depression, mental illness, ideas going on here, acting crazy, not thinking things rationally, but letting her craziness come out here. I think she had some mental issues here, and I think that that's really the basis of this whole thing. And it's major arcana, so it's very significant. This isn't, not only momentary depression. Everybody, gets depressed once in a while, a little bit, but this was, I think, an extremely mentally ill person here. Real issues. The bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Swords. So again, with a two, and the idea of stopping something, not wanting to, lose someone if they were thinking of leaving, and also not talking about it. She claimed that she doesn't remember anything, so a lot of secrets being kept silent here as well. Yeah, so we're getting 2 and 2, and the Moon reversed, which is, two animals that are barking at each other, right? They're arguing here as well. So you get this divisiveness going on here. Two things, a couple. So what triggered her to do this at that moment? Temperance reversed. So again, very emotional, very unbalanced. Can also pertain to mental health issues and problems there, as well as indulging with mushrooms and other drugs, which she did a lot of drugs, would of course exacerbate any mental health issues and maybe have caused them even. You can cause certain mental illnesses from using drugs, especially at such a young age. She was only 17 and she had been using drugs for a while at that point. So yeah, I think that drugs, her mind being altered from that, and really causing an already risk-taking teenager to go too far and be too extreme in their outlook and fears, because the Moon is also fears. If she feared a breakup, etc., that feared being alone or whatnot, that would be emphasized out of proportion under the influence of drugs and a teenager. So not thinking straight, not thinking about what she was really doing here, because a very emotionally unbalanced person under the influence of drugs behind the wheel of a car, driving these her boyfriend and friend. So what does she expect to happen from crashing the car? Wheel of Fortune reversed. So I get that she expected people to believe it was an accident and she would get away with saying that. And indeed, in the beginning of the right after the accident, the police and investigators all assumed it was an accident, tragic accident. Even the victims' families believed her that it was just an accident. However, it was later on, I don't know how much long after the accident, or the crash, I should say, because it doesn't look like it was an accident. It looks like she expected to get away with saying it was an accident for sure. And I don't think she really, because she's so under the influence of drugs and not mentally balanced, I don't think she thought through enough to say, well, I want him to die and not me necessarily. But she was wearing a seatbelt and he wasn't. However, I don't know. I saw another picture online that when he was driving where he was wearing a seatbelt and she wasn't. I don't know if that was just a habit they had of one person, the driver, wearing it and not the other person. You never know with teenagers, but she didn't have any specific plan. She was just leaving it to see how the accident went and leaving it to fate in deciding how this ended up. Again, not thinking straight, not a rational thinking person here, but a very mentally ill, disturbed individual. So what was she worried about or not want? Queen of Swords. So here I get something about a woman, perhaps a woman that she was worried maybe that her boyfriend would date, or it could be she is worried that he was going to tell her something, swords or information. Some kind of news. Maybe his mother, she was worried about breaking them up, or sister. I think that she is afraid of. She's probably afraid of Dominic's sister, who is on social media and YouTube, and she's pushing back and exposing what a liar and manipulator this young woman is, MacKenzie Sharilla. But anyways, so I'm not getting a strong feel. I get a woman here. It could be a woman or it could be information with the swords. I'm not really getting a strong fear as far as that goes. But was she hoping for? And Seven of Pentacles, another minor arcana. So she was hoping to possibly make some money from insurance. She was hoping that this would perhaps get her a job, a modeling job, or some other type of work that she could get the money for. I think maybe she wanted to get disability payments and whatnot. I think money was, and a new car perhaps. I do think somehow if she survived it, getting money from this is perhaps part of what she was hoping for, but I don't have strong hopes here with minor arcanas. I see more just acting irrationally, and I'm not really thinking things through and not having any long-term plan from this other than leaving it to fate and maybe making money or getting a car somehow or a job from sympathy, from the notoriety of it. How did MacKenzie Sharilla see her boyfriend Dominic? How did she see him? How was he affecting her at that moment? Four of Swords. Now, he was thinking of going into the military. I think I heard he had plans to do that, and that could be also part of the reason why she did this. Maybe she was trying to make him ineligible for the military. I think, of course, because then he would be leaving her, and I think that may have set her off here for sure. But, he hadn't acted yet. He was waiting. I think she knew he was waiting for the right moment to tell her it's over or whatnot. So I think that she was preemptively avoiding the fight or the talk, the conversation here about their relationship. She was avoiding it. So I do think that, but minor arcana again. So she was not feeling threatened by him or anything like that. Of course, it was the other way around. But, she didn't think of him or his future or what it was all about herself and her own irrational fears and overreacting and drugged up way of thinking at the time. And so what happened next? What happened right afterwards? Oh, I got 9 of Pentacles reversed. So here she is. This again, the idea of getting money, getting fame, getting donations, getting proceeds, her and her family financially benefiting from this, but in the wrong ways, and making her a famous or infamous anyways. So she is enjoying a lot of commissary and people donating money to her, and she has a following of young men who find her attractive, who will support her and claim that she's innocent all over. So she has been benefiting from this, but it's all been on the basis that she killed 2 people. So she's still in prison, although she has been appealing and trying to get out. None of her appeals have been successful. Okay, so she has been well taken care of by her sugar daddies there, or people donating money. And in the long term, oh my, I got the Page of Swords reversed. So a very angry card, a lot of gossip, a lot of fighting, a lot of lies, a lot of trying to distort the truth here about the accident. You can kind of see the Page of Swords reverse is looking at the Wheel of Fortune, which is what she expected. She expected people to accept her story, that it was an accident, and she will continue, her and her family will continue to keep the secret of what she was really doing, which to me looks like a suicide attempt, and that she was, overindulging, not thinking straight, 17-year-old who got extremely depressed at the diverging plans of her and her boyfriend, who were going different paths, it appeared, and she lost it. She went crazy with fear of losing him, and overindulged and made herself even worse, her mental health, and went really crazy, and just took a chance here and just did it. Wanting to let what happened. So with an accident, and she hoped to financially benefit from this accident, and she has been financially benefiting, and also becoming somewhat of a star in an infamous way. So there you have it. That is what I have for what happened here with the crash, I should say, that the crash that occurred. I think that MacKenzie Sharilla was out of her mind, is out of her mind, insane, and compounded by drug use and greed and selfishness, basically. So there you have it. That is what I see. I hope you found this interesting. If so, please like and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.